everyone. Today's topic is earthquake. As we all are aware of earthquake and its disaster, so today we'll study what are the reasons behind the earthquake. How is the earthquake originated, how it is created and what makes them to occur. Let us study all these concepts in detail. Before that, we will study some important terms which we should know before studying the earthquake properly. First, we should understand the terms which are very much important. So, the first is in the figure you can see you have a focus point, you have one epicenter point, and there is a fault. Okay, now what is a fault? A fault is a fracture, a crack. Whenever there is some fracture means there is some gap, a gap is created, a crack is created between the two substances. So whenever there is a fracture or there is a gap, that type of gap is called as fault, but it should be on the earth's crust. So a fault is a weak point in the tectonic plate where pressure within the crust is released. So our earth crust consists of many tectonic plates which are beneath the earth's surface area. So these tectonic plates they keep on moving. They keep on moving. So whenever there is a fracture created or whenever there is a weak point, at the weak point when the tectonic plate while moving the pressure is released, so at that particular time a earthquake takes place. Now a earthquake always generates at a particular point, so that point is called as focus. The earthquake's main point or from where it begins, from where it generates, so that point is called as the focus point. And that from that point perpendicular to the earth's surface is your epicenter. Means from the focus, when you draw a straight line, a perpendicular line towards the ground, towards the surface area, so that perpendicular point is called your epicenter. That epicenter is going to come directly above the focus, above your focus in an perpendicular way. So let us study the definitions one by one. A fault is a fracture in the rock that make up the earth's crust. So whenever a gap is created, a fracture is created in the earth's crust, then we call it as a fault. Next is epicenter, the point at the surface of the earth above the focus. So from the focus point, from where the earthquake is originated, from that point, when we draw a perpendicular line or a straight line towards the earth's surface, so that is called as epicenter. Plates, they are the massive rocks that make up the outer layer of the Earth's surface and whose movement along faults trigger earthquakes. So plates are the rocks which are in the interior of the earth which keeps on moving, and when there is a trigger or when there is a fault, that time the earthquake occurs. So the plates or the tectonic movement of the plates is the major reason for the occurrence of the earthquake. Next is seismic waves, the waves that transmit the energy released by the earthquake. So whenever the earthquake is generated, large amount of the surface area from that point of focus, from the point of epicenter, large amount of area is getting distracted. So this is because of the seismic waves. The waves they move away from the focus, they move away from the epicenter and they travel to the long distance, and that much area covered comes under distraction. Focus is the point within the earth where an earthquake rupture starts. So focus is an origin. It is a point from where the beginning of the earthquake takes place. The intensity of the shock is main maximum at the epicenter and decreases with increasing distance from the epicenter in all the directions. So whenever there is a rupture, whenever there is a shock, the maximum intensity is seen at the epicenter, and then it goes on decreasing. It goes on decreasing as the distance get increased. As the we move away, according to that it goes on decreasing. Now let us study what is earthquake. So earthquake means what? Shaking of ground. Whenever the ground starts shaking, then we say that the earthquake has been occurred. Movements occurring in the crust of the earth produce a lot of stress in the rock strata. When these stress accumulates beyond a limit, it tends to get released in the crust. Release of stress causes release of energy, and hence release of energy produces energy waves, and this makes the earth crust to shake, and it is called as earthquake. So it is very simple. Whenever there is a movement inside the earth crust, a lot of stress is created, and because of this this stress should be released. So during the releasing of the stress, the energy is also released, and this energy is released in the form of waves, that are the seismic waves, and these waves it makes the earth crust to shake, and hence an earthquake is occurred. Earthquake is the result of sudden release of stored energy in the earth crust that creates seismic waves. In most generic sense, the word earthquake is used to describe any seismic event, whether a natural phenomena or an event caused by humans that generates the seismic waves. So earthquake is a natural calamity we say, but still human is also responsible for the earthquake occurrence. So hence it can be created by humans also, because of humans events or humans anthropogenic events. Earth crust is broken up into irregular pieces called tectonic plates. These large pieces crust were formed by the combination of gravity and rising heat from the earth's core. So inside the earth crust we have the layer of mantle, we have the layer of core. So these all things have the small broken pieces of rocks. So these rocks are called as tectonic plates. So they consist of gravity or and also the heat. There are seven major plates and many smaller ones, all moving in relation to each other. The lithosphere refer to the crust and upper mantle that makes up these plates. So there are seven large plates and many others are smaller plates. But the lithosphere has the crust as well as upper mantle. All this consist of these plates. As tectonic plates move past each other, only fault zone, they sometimes get stuck. Pressure builds, and when these plates finally give a slip, energy is released as seismic waves, causing the ground to shake. So whenever the tectonics move, they pass each other, and that time a fault is created, and because of this a pressure is released or a pressure is created which is released in the form of energy, and these energy is released in the form of seismic waves, and these seismic waves they make the ground to shake, which leads to earthquake. A focus is the place inside the earth's crust where earthquake originates. So wherever the earthquake begins, that point is called as focus. Point on Earth's surface directly above the focus is the epicenter. So wherever the focus is originated, the surface above the focus or the Earth's surface above the focus is called as epicenter. That point is called as epicenter. When energy is released at the focus, seismic waves travel outwards from that point in all direction. There are different types of seismic waves, each one traveling at varying speeds and motions. These waves that you feel during an earthquake. So whenever an earthquake is generated, all these seismic waves they move outwards in all the direction, and because of this there are different types of seismic waves, and each of them they travel in different directions. Now we will see how the earthquake occurs. Now earthquake occurs because of friction or because of pressure, because of the energy that is released. So all these things are the reason behind the occurrence of the earthquake. Let us study one by one. So friction causes pressure. As the tectonic plates are pushed past or into each other, friction prevents them from moving and causes a build-up of immense pressure. So whenever there are plates, they move towards each other or they move away from each other, the friction is created, and because of this friction also a pressure is released in the form of earthquake. Energy is released when the pressure finally overcomes the friction. The plates will suddenly fracture and slip past each other, releasing the energy, causing the seismic wave. So whenever a pressure is created, then this pressure is released in the form of energy, and this energy is released in the form of seismic waves. In the first figure you can see the occurrence of friction is taking place between the two tectonic plates, and now this friction is releasing the energy. This energy is released in the form of seismic waves, which makes the plates to move in a zigzag manner or to move cross to each other. So the process starts again. Once the energy has been released, the plates will assume their new position and the process will begin all over the again. So in the third figure you can see the earthquake or the disaster has been taken place. Now the plates will take their new position. Firstly, in the first figure you saw the position was different. Now the position of the plates is different. So it is going to take a new position and again the process will start. Anatomy of earthquake. Now let us study the different terms or anatomy of the earthquake. An earthquake is shaking of ground caused by sudden motions along faults or fractures in the earth crust. Now earthquake is not a slow motion. It doesn't take place slowly every day. It is a sudden motion which takes within a moment and the destruction is occurred. So whenever there is a sudden movement of the ground or the shaking of the ground because of faults or because of fractures in the earth crust, then we say that the earthquake has occurred. Now we have already discussed what is fault, a fracture in the rock that makes up the earth's crust. Next is the epicenter, the point at the surface of the earth directly above the focus. Focus, the point within the earth where the earthquake rupture starts. Plates, massive rocks that make up the outer layer of the earth's surface and whose movement along faults trigger earthquake. Seismic waves, waves that transmit the energy released by an earthquake. Measuring tools. Now it is generally seen that we can predict earthquake, or we can also measure the destruction caused by the earthquake. We can measure the intensity that was released during the earthquake as well as the energy which was released during the earthquake. So all these things we can measure those things, but we need some different tools. So first is Mercalli scale. So Mercalli scale is used to measure the intensity of the earthquake, how much intensity that earthquake it had or how much destructions has it created, that can be measured by the Mercalli scale. In Mercalli scale, units are considered as 1 not felt, 2 12 total destruction, quantified from the observation of the effects on the earth's surface, human objects and man-made structures. So this scale is measured from 1 to 12. So 1 means nothing has been felt or that is very mild, and 12 means totally destructed, total loss. So this is basically measured in the terms of observation. Now, what are the things which we will observe? What is the situation of Earth's surface after the disaster? How many humans have lost their life? The objects like the buildings or other things, man-made structures, roads, how many destructions has been created? According to that, the intensity of the earthquake can be measured with the help of Mercalli scale. The next is Richter scale. Now, Richter scale is used to calculate the magnitude of the earthquake. So we can measure how much is the magnitude of the earthquake by measuring the seismic waves that were caused by the earthquake. So during the earthquake, what were the seismic waves released? According to that, the Richter scale can give you the perfect calculation. Seismograph tool and algorithmic scale obtained by calculating algorithm of amplitude of waves. The earthquake waves are recorded by an instrument called seismograph. So seismograph is used to record the waves which are caused during the earthquake. Isoseismal line is an imaginary line drawn on the map connecting the places of uniform intensity of earthquake. So, isoseismal line is generally a uniform line which is drawn between the uniform intensity of the earthquake. Two scales have different applications and measurement technique. The energy released in an earthquake of magnitude 5 is 32 times more than that of magnitude 4. So this much is the difference between the two magnitude. If you are writing 4, then it is 32 times less than the magnitude 5. If you are writing 5, then it is 32 times more than your magnitude 4. Now let us study earthquake's magnitude and the intensity. Now what is intensity? Intensity means how strongly the earthquake was felt to the observer. So wherever if the earthquake is taken place in some particular city, how strongly those people have faced the earthquake is the meaning of that intensity. What is magnitude? How much energy or how much seismic waves were created during that particular earthquake, that is coming under magnitude. Qualitative assessment of the kinds of damage done by the earthquake depends on distance to earthquake and strength of earthquake, determined from the intensity of shaking and damage from the earthquake. So it is totally a qualitative assessment, how much damage the earthquake has done, till what distance and how much strength the earthquake had, and what are the different intensities calculated during the earthquake is basically seen under the intensity part. And quantitative measurement of the amount of energy released by the earthquake by the modern seismograph depends on the size of fault that break and determines from seismic records. Now, as intensity is totally depend on qualitative, so and magnitude is dependent on quantitative. How much quantity of energy is released? It is totally measured by the seismograph. So it depends on the size of the fault and also the seismic records are being generated. Next is difference between Mercalli scale and Richter scale. Mercalli scales is used to measure the effects caused by the earthquake. So what are the effects of the earthquake? What is the distractions created after the earthquake is measured by Mercalli scale? And Richter scale is used to measure the energy released by the earthquake. So how much energy is released during the earthquake process is calculated by the Richter scale. The Mercalli works more on observation scale, and the Richter scale takes the help of seismograph to calculate the energy released. Qualified from observation of effect on Earth's surface, human objects and man-made structures. So what are the different effects on the Earth's surface on the humans and other objects is seen in Mercalli scale. and base 10 algorithmic scale obtained by calculating logarithm of amplitude of wave. So logarithm or amplitude of waves is calculated in the Richter scale. So Marconi scale is calculated between 1 to 12. 1 means not felt and 12 means total destruction. Whereas in Richter scale from 2 to 10 it is never recorded, and a 3 point naught earthquake is 10 times stronger than 2 point naught earthquake. The consistency of Markali scale depends on distance from the epicenter. So how much the distance is covered from the epicenter gives the consistency of the Markali scale. And the consistency of Richter scale varies at different distance from the epicenter, but one value is given for the earthquake as a whole. So consistency always differ in the case of Richter scale as we move from one distance to other, but overall an average of all the values, only one value is considered. Thank you for watching. Please subscribe the channel.